And welcome everyone to another 7 more starting tips for Project Zomboid. Big thank you to everyone who watched and liked and also commented on the last video. And it seems to have done quite well, so I thought I'd do another one. Just another 7 more starting tips for Project Zomboid for Build 41. Hopefully I've covered some of the things that a few of you commented in the last video. I didn't get to all of it because I just wanted to try and get the things that I thought would be most important in this video. But again, if this video does well, I will try and do another one with maybe some more even advanced stuff with some late game bits and pieces as well. But I hope you guys all enjoy. This is 7 more starting tips for Project Zomboid. And again, at the end of the video, there are a few more little few hints and tips as well, so do stay tuned for those. But yes guys, do leave a like if you enjoy, leave me a comment to let me know if you find anything useful, and yeah, I will speak to you all later. So cooking is one of the few overlooked skills in Project Zomboid. At the moment, it's not overly great in what it can do for you, but it can be quite fun to sort of experiment with different things and see what you can do with it. So I do highly suggest that you go onto like Google or sort of the Project Zomboid wiki and have a quick look around and see what different recipes you can make. But I'm just going to show you a little quick tip on one of the few things that you can make just to make like meals a little bit better for your character. So at the moment we've actually got some bread and a dead rat. A lovely dead rat. So what I'm going to try and do, what we'll do is just make sure that you have a knife. Is one of the few things that you need. So a hunting knife, kitchen knife, whatever it might be. Just in that way you can butcher it. So literally right click on it and butcher small animal. There we go. So now we've got small rodent meat, dangerous uncooked. So if you do eat uncooked meat, it can make your character sick, and eat enough of it, I believe it can kill you as well. So yeah. Try not to eat raw meat if you can, and try and cook it over a campfire, you know, in a cooker or barbecue, whatever it might be that you might have. So for this one at the moment, all we're going to do is we're just going to cook this rodent meat in this oven right here. So chuck that in, and what we do is just right click on the oven, click on the settings, and you can actually change the temperature and put the timer on if you want to. I always just seem to put it onto max temperature and just turn it on, and then just keep an eye on the rodent meat. So if you just hover over it, as you can see, the rodent meat slowly turns to a nice shade of red, and then it gives you a nice little cooking bar. So what we'll do is we'll just wait for that to be done and make sure you turn your oven off. That is one tip that you really need to remember, is to make sure you remember to turn your oven off if you're cooking things in an oven. Because if you actually leave this cell and leave your oven on, there is a chance that it will set fire and basically burn your house down. So yeah, make sure you remember to turn your oven off, people. So there you go, now you can see we've got some lovely cooked rodent meat. You wouldn't even know that it was a rat. And then what we can do with our bread is we can actually slice the bread. So if we slice that up, or a burger. So what we're going to do is we're going to create ourselves a nice rat burger. There you go, look at that, see? And now we've got a nice rat burger. Now if you right click on it again, you can actually add other ingredients. Unfortunately I don't have anything else, but if you have things such as especially when you're going into the long game, such as cabbages, tomatoes, any sort of vegetables, you can actually add them into your burger and it will boost the effects. So at the moment you can see it gives us 20 hunger and -5 in happiness. The more different ingredients you have in it, the better the stats will be. So if you can put a nice like little mix of different ingredients in there, it is a lot better. For now what we'll do is you can add some more rat in there, might as well, just so you can make most of it. There we go, and we'll add one more lots of rat in there as well. There we go, so it's just a full rat burger. Now what you can also add is spice. Spices are quite handy as well, so let's add some pepper to it, because adding spices can add the boredom and unhappiness. Just get it down a little bit for you. Every little helps. There we go. So now we have a full rat burger, which is apparently uncooked. I'm not too sure why that is, but okay, we'll just chuck it into the oven. Turn it on. There we go. And again, now you can see it's cooking again. So what we'll do is we'll just wait for that to be done, and again, once you've cooked this, the stats will go up again because it's like a hot, nice, fresh burger for him. So he'll be really happy to try that out. So once this is done, let's see what the stats jump up to. And they jump up to, there you go, so -45. So originally, if you were to eat in that raw, that was a -20 hunger, whereas now we've actually doubled that just through the process of cooking. Now they can go higher as well, depending on your cooking skill. So for our character at the moment, he's only got 2 cooking. But if you were to have, say, like 8 cooking or something ridiculously high, that will actually be a lot higher. I know that the devs are planning to look into cooking and trying to make it a little bit better for your characters, because it's not a whole lot that there is into cooking at the moment. You can just make different things, but I do suggest that you do look into it and give it a little go and just have a little play with different recipes and see what your character wants. Because especially if you get to the mid to late game, you can't sort of live off cabbages forever, because your character will continue to lose weight. So you will have to have a bit of a meat diet, whether that's sort of rodents, rabbits, anything like that. You know, it's entirely up to you. But yeah, so now we've got that, we can now eat our burger. And there we go. Job done. So as previously talked about, sort of going into your mid to late game, things such as trapping and fishing start to become skills that you really want to start looking into. If you look into them early on, it can be very beneficial to you to start sort of leveling them up, so in that way they get very, very worthwhile towards the mid to late game. So just for this character in particular here, I've been very, very lucky in the fact that I've actually found a few magazines. So for fishing, I've actually found one which is to make a fishing rod and fix a fishing rod. So we're going to attempt to read that quickly. So with fishing, you can actually find normal fishing rods out there, and they're a lot better than the ones that you make. And you can also find things like fishing tackle, fishing lines and other things like that. With the fishing tackle, that means that you can actually find better quality fish when you use those. But if you do find a fishing rod, I do suggest that you do pick it up and just chuck it in, especially if you've got a car. Chuck it into your trunk and save it for day when you want to go fishing. So now that that's read, that's all done, so we'll just chuck that on the floor over there. And then we've got the hunter magazines. So with the hunter magazines, they're good for trapping, and they all have different variations. So this first one here lets us make a snare trap. This one here, make a wooden cage trap or a stick trap. And the last one here makes us make a trap box or a cage trap. So sometimes you might not need these, depending if you pick the correct career path. I think it's the park ranger, or if you've got the hunter skill, one of those ones, and you actually won't need to read these, or some of these at least, because you'll have the correct skills anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly read all three of these, and then see if we can go and build a quick trap. Okay, there we go. So we just read the last one there, so now we've read all three of those, so we can get rid of all of those. I don't need to see those again. So what we'll see now is we actually go into the crafting menu over here on the left. It gives you all these different tabs. I'm not sure if anyone may know this tab already, but it gives you all different things that you can build in crafting, basically. So again, it's well worth a look through, because it can open your eyes to some things that you may not know was in the game. So yeah, definitely worth a look through. So things like spears, carpentry, again, cooking is in here as well, so it can show you, things to make in here, so like bowls of rice, oatmeal. So yeah, definitely worth a look through. What we're going to be looking at though is the trapper. So trapper. So these are the things that we've literally just read up on. So the cage trap, we've got a snare trap, stick trap, trap box, and a wooden cage trap. So we're going to try and see what we can make at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and see if I can grab some materials, and yeah, we will be right back. Okay, so I've got my materials all laid out here, so if we just click on this tab here, there we go. So the one that we can make is a wooden cage trap. This is a pretty decent one, to be honest. It's one that I've used quite often. It's usually that one that I use, and then just go on to the cage trap, purely because the cage trap just looks a little bit nicer, to be honest. But you can't unlock that until trapping level 3. So with this one, literally all you need is 3 planks and 5 nails. So if we go ahead and click on that and craft one, there we go, it's just picking up all the materials. And there we go, now it should be in his inventory. There we go. Trap crate. Easy. Now for some reason I'm carrying around a butter knife. We don't need that. Lovely. So there have been different sources on where you should place these. From what I've read, it needs to be, when you're placing down traps, it needs to be at least 100 tiles away from the player or the player's main base. So to make sure it's a bit of a sizable distance, what I try to do is try and do it like at the end of my road, sort of in like a forest or a little bit of a woodland. So what we'll do is I'll just quickly pop out of here, and we'll drive away and see if we can place somewhere nearby, and see if we can get something eventually. So what we do? Okay, so we've driven a little bit of ways. Hopefully this is far enough, and what we do now is just find somewhere nice to put our trap. So above this tree looks quite nice. So just literally right click wherever you want to play it, and you'll have a place trap and a trap crate. And then you get this nice little thing here, place it there, and there you go, job done. So you can just place a trap without any bait and hope that something will, eventually turn up there. Unfortunately, I don't actually have any bait. I do have some peas. I'm not sure if that'll work, but I'll try it. I'll put some peas there, but hopefully I'll find some cabbage, some tomatoes, something like that. Again, if you go online to the Project Zomboid wiki, there's a little guide that shows you sort of what animals are attracted to what food. I think the two best ones are sort of cabbages and tomatoes. Your two best ones to go to. So if you've got like a farm growing and you're using cabbages and tomatoes, that'd be very, very handy for yourself, because then you can just use them for unlimited bait and you'll pretty much always capture either rabbits or squirrels. And again, for your mid to late game, they are very, very good, nice meat sources for you to keep your weight sustained. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the trapping and the fishing. The fishing isn't too much different to the trapping. If not, it's a little bit more simple, especially if you've got a nice little bit of water near yourself. Literally all it is literally go towards the water, click on it, start fishing, and there you go. Yes, guys, that's trapping and fishing for you. Okay, so disassembling. We've covered this topic a little bit in one of my previous videos, but I just thought I would reiterate the fact for disassembling. So disassembling is something that you can do to the majority of things in this game to upgrade certain skills. What we're going to be mainly focusing on is disassembling for carpentry. You can also do disassembly for electrical and metalworking. And then it'll grind those skills respectively. Carpentry is one of the better ones to do because it's one of the most easiest and pretty much for the core things that you're going to be building in Project Zomboid. So the main thing to have when it comes to disassembling beds is some of the things that we've previously mentioned, which is a hammer and a garden saw, or the other saw if you find the other variant. So what we're going to do is literally you can right click on pretty much anything and disassemble things. Obviously, for the prospect of this wardrobe, it's currently got things in it, so let's just empty those there. There we go, just dump them on the floor. So one of the better things to disassemble is beds. Beds are the better things to disassemble for the XP. So at the moment you can see I've got 165.9. So if we disassemble this wardrobe here, this dark fancy wardrobe, there we go, and watch Frank here just hammer away, and that gives us 204.9. So it gave us 5 XP basically. Whereas if we go to this bed here, the large fancy bed, there we go, you usually get more materials as well. That gave us nearly 50, pretty much. Yeah, so the jump in XP boost is ridiculous. So if you find yourself near a motel and there's loads of beds around, just start disassembling beds and you will literally level up carpentry super quick. Yeah, I couldn't suggest enough how to just literally grind this skill and just disassemble loads of different beds. So here we go, if we disassemble this one over here, there we go. Level 3 carpentry already. And this is only our second day, so obviously if you do find yourself near a motel, literally just grind that skill and that can help you massively in the long run. For carpentry, obviously there's a lot of things that you need to build with it. So you can build your walls, doors, stairs, wooden crates to store your gear in, furniture such as bookshelves, the rain collectors. You can even build yourself a bed if you've got yourself a mattress. Pretty much majority of things. When it comes to the metalworking, you are quite limited to what you can disassemble. So you can disassemble metal doors if you've got a propane torch and a welding mask. But again, these are things that you won't probably be carrying on yourself most of the time, or at least what I wouldn't be. And the same with the other skills as well, like electrical. Electrical, though, is a little bit easier, but we'll get onto that a little bit later. But yes, guys, that's pretty much disassembling in a whole. So yeah, when it comes to disassembling, keep your hammer and your saw on you, and go for beds. They're the main two things to remember. So barricades. Barricades are one of the first things you'll probably do in Zomboid, especially when in one of your first few bases, to protect yourself from the undead. As you can see here, this isn't my house. It's actually not a bad barricade for this house. But this is one of the survivor houses that I've come across, and they've barricaded near enough every single entrance into this place. But yeah, barricades are one of the best ways to protect yourself from the hordes of zombies. And what I'm going to do now is just show you a few tips on how to build barricades and how to dismantle them as well. First of all, for dismantling them, what you're going to have to do is just have a hammer inside your inventory. This is why I always suggest to keep a hammer, because if you come across one of these survivor houses, it usually means that there's going to be pretty decent loot in here. So for this one, literally all you're going to do is right click on where you want to do it and unbarricade. Do make sure you're a little bit safe, because it does take a little bit of time just to unbarricade. There we go, and that's done. Now I'm just going to check, is this door open? Yeah, it is. How you doing, mate? There we go, and he goes down like a sack of spuds. Brilliant. Now do remember that you're going to have the plank on you, so just get rid of that, because we don't really need that right now. And yeah guys, that's how to unbarricade. When it comes to adding barricades, literally it's a similar sort of process. So I've picked up some planks here, and what we're going to do is just quickly grab some nails as well. So if I just open one box of nails, there we go, we've got 100 nails on us. So all you need is a hammer, some nails, and some planks. Planks you can get, as we've discussed, from like disassembling objects, so tables, beds, whatever it might be, that'll give you planks. You can also get planks from logs as well, so if you're near a little forest, or if you're in the forest, like a little forest base, if you cut down trees, you can saw those logs into even more planks. All you need to do is literally right click on the window and it'll give you the choice to barricade the planks. So there we go, if we just click on this window here and barricade it with planks. So you can do it up to 4 times, so if you do it twice, you can still have line of sight outside the window. As you can see there, I can see outside the window there just about. If you do it more than that and do it a 3rd time, there you go, you'll see that we now lose vision. So it's entirely up to you how many times you want to do it. If you're more worried about your safety and you want to try and barricade as much as possible, there you go. So now you have 4 planks protecting it. So a zombie would have to destroy all 4 of those planks. You can also do the other side of the window. So if I was to go outside and with another 4 planks, I could do the exact same on the other side, and again double the protection, so a zombie would actually have to break 8 planks to enter my base. So yeah, just a little tip for you guys. If you do want to sort of start protecting your own base, I do suggest you just start barricading until you have sort of wall defences or anything like that, because this is something that does come in handy. Now there is something else as well. There are a couple of things that you can use to barricade windows and doors with. Another thing that I have at the moment is I have a metal sheet. So with metal sheets, you can use those with the propane torch and a welding mask. You need those things because a metal sheet requires it to be welded on, obviously. A metal sheet is slightly more better than the 4 planks over the window, but it is a little bit harder to do just because you need a welding mask and a propane torch needs to have gas in it as well. So again, similar sort of process. All you need to do is right click on the window and barricade with a metal sheet. Your character will then set himself up to do it. There you are, and job done. There we go. So now as you can see, there's the metal sheet over it. Again, with a metal sheet you're limited because it will cut line of sight straight away. But again, it is slightly more stronger than 4 planks over the window, and you can also do the metal sheet on the other side of the window. Now there is another option. Unfortunately I don't have any because it's going to take me a while to try and find them, but that is to find metal bars. This one here. So if you can find 3 metal bars, you can do the exact same process as you would with a metal sheet, only put metal bars on it. Think of it as a little mini jail cell. So you'll literally put 3 metal bars there, and that will stop anything getting in. Now, metal bars are probably one of the better ones to have because they are also the strongest. And they also allow you to have line of sight as well, so you'll be able to see out of your metal bars. And you can do them on both sides of your window. So if you have a window with 3 metal bars on either side, that zombie is most likely not going to be getting in unless he's banging on that window for a very, very long time. So yeah, if you do find metal bars, do keep hold of them. Try not to use them as weapons because they are more handy to use for your base defences. But yeah guys, that is pretty much barricading in a nutshell. But yeah. So a little scenario for you here. So we've just looted this house here, but the nearby horde has just learned all the commotion that we made and is now attacking downstairs. So we poke our head downstairs and we can see more than enough zombies that literally we're going to get overrun. So what do? So you can actually run upstairs and craft something called a sheet rope. So if you've got a couple of curtains that you've seen, literally all you need to do is right click on the curtains and remove them. These will produce sheets. Sheets can be used for multiple different things, so you can actually craft sheet rope or just rip the sheets up and they'll give you some ripped sheets which you can use for bandages. So with 2 ripped sheets though, what you can do is just right click on it and craft sheet rope. So if we do that there and create 2 sheet ropes, there we go. We now have 2 sheet ropes. So what we're going to do now is go over to the window, open the window up, and we can add escape rope. So what you need to do that is you need 2 sheep ropes, a hammer, and 1 nail. And it's literally just a nail the sheep rope into here. So as long as you've got a hammer on you, like I said, always try to keep a hammer on you, the sheep ropes, and some nails. If you haven't got any nails on you at all times, literally just quickly dismantle something that's nearby. So for this instance, it was the bed right here. And then all you need to do is right click, add escape rope. And there you go. There's the escape rope. So that all those hordes of zombies are now downstairs. All we need to do is get to the window, hold E, and our character will simply jump on down. And it gives you a nice little escape route. And again, it also helps you if you just want to climb back in, hold E again, there you go, job done. This comes in handy for your sort of mid-game once your sort of base is built up. You can do things such as sledgehammer the stairs out, so then that way you can always have a nice peaceful night's sleep. And in that way, safe in the knowing that zombies aren't going to come and eat you while you sleep. You know, things like that are very, very useful, like I say, and then you can also build a little sheet rope to go down your stairwell as well. And again, zombies can't climb sheet ropes at the moment. They can tear them down, but they can't climb them. So, you know, as long as you're on the high ground as such, they can't touch you. So yeah, sheet ropes are always a handy thing to know. You can keep a sheet rope on you as well if you want to. I tend not to because I don't usually get cornered too much. But if you're playing on a very challenging difficulty, carrying sheet ropes can be very, very handy for yourself. But yeah, so yeah, sheet ropes, very, very useful when you need them. So you've just survived your sort of first 20 to 30 days and then the power goes out. So what are you going to do? Well, generators are the way forward. Generators are in the game to help you have power after the power gets shut off. So if you see something like this just lying around, it isn't just a little bit of an inanimate object, it is actually a generator. So as you can see here, you can click on the generator and it has a fuel and a condition. And it also has a connect generator, which is currently red for ourselves. So it says there, an electrician profession or learnt knowledge required for operation. So you can't actually use the generator unless you know how to do so, which as it says there, either being an electrician or you need to have the right skill book. So the skill book is literally right here. So how to use generators. Quite simple. So you'll find this randomly in houses or more often in sort of like libraries or bookshops. So if you do see how to use generators while you're looting around, do just literally give it a little quick read and it'll save you a job, because once your character knows it, he knows it. So you won't ever need to revisit that. So what we're going to quickly do, read that. There we go. So now we know how to use generators. So we'll literally just quickly chuck that in there and we will grab one of these fuel cans just to go and fill our generator up. So with the generator as well, it will degrade over time. And the thing that you need to keep it upkept is electronics. So scrap electronics to be exact. You can get that from a numerous amount of things. So the best thing is watches. Watches are found on the zombies that you kill, and they're quite common in the most recent updates. I wouldn't be surprised though if they do cut them down a little bit, because near enough every other zombie has a watch in the games that I've been playing. So yeah, and it's as simple as just making sure, again, you have a screwdriver, one of the things that you should be having on you at all times. And just right clicking and dismantle watch. There we go. Easy. One thing to note is just make sure you don't dismantle your own watch, because it will try and keep like telling you to dismantle it, like when you dismantle others. So yeah, just make sure you don't dismantle your own watch by mistake, and that will give you your scrap electronics. But yeah, as I say, you can dismantle a numerous amount of things, so such as lamps next to bedside tables, or just any electronic item, to be honest. So yeah, cordless phone here we've got, so we can literally dismantle that. Some earbuds, we can dismantle that. And as you can see, it gives us electronics for all of that. Another thing is radios you can also dismantle. These can give you multiple scrap electronics, so they can be worthwhile, but just make sure that it hasn't got the emergency broadcast system on it, or just make sure you don't need it if you already have it. So what we'll do is this one is we'll just place it up here quickly. And device options. That does not have the emergency broadcast on it, so what we're going to do is disassemble the radio. There we go. Job done. So with radios, they do give you various other bits of electronic equipment, so such as batteries, electric wire. As you see, it did give us some electronics as well. And the higher your electrical skill, the more components you will recycle from it as well. So eventually, when you do get a higher electrical skill, you can get multiple scrap electronics from quite a few things. But as you can see, it doesn't give you much electrical skill. But if you think that you're, disassembling every single watch that you find, it is very, very easy to get electrical level 1. And again, electrical level 1 is essential for you to be able to hotwire cars, along with mechanics level 2, if you don't have the burglar trait, which fortunately for Frank Valentine, he does. But yeah, what we're going to do now is literally just right click on the generator, and as you can see, it's no longer redded out, so now we can connect the generator to our house. Now, the generator does have a set radius. It's quite large though, so you know, I think it's pretty much sort of most of the tiles around your sort of main centre there. But it does have a certain radius. If you've got a massive compound or anything like that, it won't power all of it. It will only power a certain radius. Now what you want to do is add fuel. So just add some fuel there. So something to note as well, the generator does make a little bit of amount of noise, so just be mindful where you place it. And this will also depend on what you want to be using it. I try to place it as close to my kitchen as possible, because I mainly only use it to power the fridge, freezer, and the cooker, if I have one. So yeah, and just try and place it as far away from Zeds getting to it as possible, because it will just attract Zeds towards it. So like for this house, I'll place it over here towards its corner, because Zeds can't get over to it because the fence is over here. So the only ones that will hear it are usually the ones that are sort of down towards southeast there, or over towards the east. So now if we right click on it, it says generator info, 80% fuel and 100% condition. And we can now actually turn it on. There we go. And now that is the generator's static noise. Like I say, it does make a little bit of noise. It's not too bad, because if we literally walk over here, it's virtually non-existent, so zombies won't hear it too bad really. So it's not really a terrible noise, so don't be too scared about, you know, turning it on if there's a horde nearby. You know, as long as it's not right next to it, it won't make a difference. If you hover over the generator info, it'll actually tell you what it's powering as well. So at the moment it's powering 11 lights, the fridge, the TV, and that's about it. So, you know, once it gets to your mid-game and you're just solely relying on your generator, do go around and just consider what to turn off, because the more things it's using, the more fuel it will use as well. So try to make it so it's only using 2 or 3 things at a time, so like just your fridge and your freezer. Your TV won't be on because you won't have any life or living, and just make sure all lights are turned off as well. So what we're going to do is turn that off, and there you go. But yes guys, generators, make sure you do use them. Picking them up can be a little bit of a pain, because they do weigh an absolute ton, so you can only usually carry them. So I do suggest that if you do find one while you're out and about and you've got a car on you, just make sure you plonk it in your car, just put it onto the driver's seat or in the passenger seat or something like that, and it'll be absolutely fine. But try not to hump it back all the way your base if you're doing like a little bit of a scouting run, because it will slow you down and most likely probably get you killed as well. So yeah guys, generators, handy to have and essential to have once you've survived your first month. So you've been surviving quite a while in the apocalypse now, and you've got yourself a generator, the power's been shut off, you know, and you seem to be doing quite well, but then the water gets shut off. You know, what do you do then? Well, managed to get this character up to a level 4 of carpentry, which actually unlocks something quite good to get into, and that is the ability to make a rain collector barrel. So rain collector barrels are exactly what they say. They collect rain, which gives you some drinking water. So what we can do is we can actually make those with level 4 carpentry, 4 garbage bags, a couple of nails and some planks. And yeah, if you place these outside, these can be used to collect rainwater, and then what you can do with that water is just make sure you boil it, and then that gives you some safe drinking water. This is very, very handy, especially towards your mid-game once the power and the water gets shut off, because, you know, as you start draining the water tanks of the houses, you know, you'll have to start scouting further and further afield to get yourself some water. Or if you've actually got like quite a remote little base, you know, again, these are an essential must, because otherwise you'll literally just die of thirst. But you can place these down anywhere, so what we can do is I'm just going to place this one literally right here. And there we go. Simple as that. So at the moment, it hasn't actually got anything in it, but it can hold 160 water. So it's not too bad. If you can build the improved variant, which is the actual barrel version, but that needs carpentry of level 7, but the same sort of material, so, you know, if you can get to carpentry level 7, do get to that as quickly as you can. But they can hold 400 water, so considerably more than these ones right here. So yeah, once you get to carpentry level 7, build as many of them as you can, because then they come in handy super quick. But But yeah, when it comes to actually taking water from there, you don't actually need much for it. All you need is a cooking pot. So literally in our backpack here. Do I not have a cooking pot? I swear I did. Maybe I lost it. Strange. Okay, well, never mind. Well, once it starts raining, what you do is literally you go to the rain collector, you collect water with the cooking pot, then you place your cooking pot on either an open fire or in your cooker. Oh, and I've just remembered I didn't turn my oven off. See, that is what kills me half the time. See, turn your oven off, people. Turn your oven off. Oh, dear me. Anyway, so yeah, you can put your cooking pot in there, and what you'll see is the cooking pot will have a little green symbol, similar to like the poison symbol for tainted water, because if you drink too much tainted water, it will make your character sick. And then once that tainted water symbol goes, the water will be then safe to drink. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much the water collectors in a nutshell. Very, very handy things to have, and especially once you've got your base up and running, your defences, once you've plotted a few of those things down around your base, you're pretty much set up for water then. So, yeah, a very, very handy thing to have indeed. So just something else to add on to the water collector barrels. If you're struggling to get to carpentry level 4, you found the water been shut off early, or you've been doing other things, fear not, there are other ways to do it. So you can actually put containers down on the floor outside to collect rainwater. As long as you've got the cooking pot to boil the water over, that's the main ingredient you need. But you can put things such as bowls onto the floor, and that'll collect water for you. Buckets are one of the better ones because they've actually got a lot more storage in them. So you put a bucket on the floor, that'll again collect rainwater for you. So you can put those sorts of things down and just transfer the water from the bucket into the cooking pot once you've got it. But yeah, guys, those are the sorts of things as well that you can put down. Paint cans as well, another one. So yeah, if you can't get the rain collector barrel, use other things to collect water for you, because again, water is essential for survival. So yeah, guys, just another little tip. So just to show off another cooking thing that you can do. So using the bread again, I've actually managed to find some ham. So what we can do is we can create a ham sandwich. Here we go, and now we've got some ham. And we've also got something else as well. We've actually got some cheese as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and mix it up. So we're going to make a ham and cheese sandwich. Look at that, see? And then we'll put some more ham in there. And some more cheese. There we go, look at that, see? So now we've got a ham and cheese sandwich. I'm not too sure if you can actually cook this and make it into like a little bit of a toasty type thing, like a ham and cheese toasty. Let's find out. I'm not too sure if you can or not. No, it doesn't look like it. No, otherwise it'd come up with the cooking bar underneath the unhappiness. But that's just another thing that you can do, guys. So there we go. We both found that out together. So a ham and cheese sandwich gives you 40 hunger and minus 10 unhappiness. Look at that. That's very, very good indeed. So what we're going to do is we'll just chuck that in my fridge over here, along with my bread and my cheese and my ham. There we go. But yeah, guys, just one of the many things that you can do with cooking. So something that I found out fairly recently, again, for one of the YouTube comments actually reminded me to mention this. Thank you very much to who mentioned this tip. So when it comes to things such as if you've just cut yourself, maybe going through a bush or smashed a window, and now you've got yourself a dirty bandage. So what you can do is remove the bandage, and your character will then proceed to remove the bandage, and you can see we have got a scratch there. So in your inventory now, you will have a dirty rag. Now, if you find yourself maybe in the middle of nowhere or you haven't got a whole lot left, you can actually right-click on the dirty rag and clean it. It will use some water, but then it will actually give you your rip sheet back. So you don't actually have to consistently, go out and get rip sheets or bandages. You can just literally reuse rip sheets. So now we can actually reuse that. So if we right-click on that, and we'll actually put an actual bandage on this time. There we go. There we go, and now we're proper bandaged again. Look at that. But yes, just another little helpful tip for you guys, that you can actually clean your used bandages. So yeah, if you find yourself lacking in medical supplies, a little useful tip for you. And thank you again to the YouTuber who, mentioned that in the comments below. Thank you. And we're just revisiting our trap that we put down. It looks like we've actually got a bite. So I actually came back here and put a peach underneath. And as you can see, the trap is down. So it means there's something in there. So we'll sometimes make a little audible sounds as well of something trying to escape. So if we right click on it, it will say check trap. So if we check our trap, there we go, and we have a dead rabbit. Look at that. Happy days. So yeah, that gives us quite a lot of hunger. Obviously, again, it says dangerous uncooked, so just right click, butcher that. There we go. Now we got some nice, lovely rabbit meat. So, you know, and let's check our trapping skill. There you go. And he gave us quite a bit of trapping as well. I have read the book as well, so just that one trapping, that one rabbit gave us 14.95. So, you know, you do need to catch quite a lot, you know, but if you have loads of different traps, so if you literally just put down 4 traps in one little area, you know, and put like loads of lettuce and tomatoes down with it, you'll pretty much catch something near enough every other day. So it's not majorly difficult to up the skill level for that. Yeah, guys, that is how to trap your animals right there. And there we have it, 7 more sewing tips for Project Zomboid for build 41. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you found some of this useful. I know that the player count for Project Zomboid lately has been insane. I did see that the devs tweeted that the player count was, again, one of the highest weeks on record the other week. So yeah, you know, welcome to everyone who's just recently joined the game. I mean, I'm not exactly a long-term player myself. I've only been playing it for around 2-3 years now. And yeah, but I thoroughly enjoy the game. I can't wait for the Build 41 multiplayer to be released. It'll be really, really good. But yeah, anyway, back to the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Again, please do leave a like if you have found anything useful. And yeah, leave some comments down below. If you guys have any tips for myself, I can try and put them into future videos for you. And yeah, I'll be more than happy to look into it. So yeah, if this video does well, guys, I will put up another one as well. And if any of you haven't already, please do consider going over and looking at my Project Zomboid series. I do little story-based series on characters that I build. So, you know, do please go over and have a look at those videos as well. And again, you know, hope you all enjoy this. I am trying to get into a more stream of getting some more videos out, but you know, I've had a crazy couple of weeks. So yeah, it's been pretty manic for me. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoy. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I will talk to you all soon. Take care.